From the heart of Detroit to the national stage, we're diving deep into the issues that shape our neighborhoods, from social justice and racial equity to the local policies that impact your daily life. This isn't just a talk show, it's a platform for progress. This is Urban Interest. Let's get into it.
Again, this is Ken McFall. We're at the Urban Information Network with the great Chris Collins talking about 2026 Jazz Festival in Detroit. I'm going to spin it over to Chris, and he's going to tell you about himself and some of the great things that he's doing and has been doing for many, many years with Detroit. Chris, would you just tell the audience about you, because it's international?
Well, look, first, I need a telephone book or a pillow or something, because you got about 1.5 feet on me, man.
No. We still brothers in this jazz. It's my brother from jazz.
You know, man, the first thing I learned in this music early on is it's about the music. The music is above us all, and you're a lover of music.
Oh.
So many of the patrons listening today are lovers of this music. And musicians think the same way. I mean, we're caretakers. We're the farmers that keep the soil healthy for the next generation.
Wow,
that's what we are, and yet we try to improve, the education and the propagation of the music, the innovation within the music, understanding the language and building on it. All these things are really important. But at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about the music as a total entity. And I think this is really the key to understanding jazz. I mean, you can go back, Bach, Vivaldi, Mozart, these guys were improvisers, but, they sat at a harpsichord and they could improvise a fugue, man. It was some serious stuff. But jazz is, as we were talking before the show, it's very different because it's communal. It's all about communication and the ensemble, and then you have the venue, and then you have the patrons listening and engaging with you. All of that comes together to form its own personality that's spontaneous and of the moment. And the beauty of jazz, and I know you know this feeling, when you hear a great set, as much as I love recorded music, and we archive everything at Detroit Jazz Festival, but when you hear a set that's live and real, and it comes, and you're there, and it goes, it's like a gift, because that is never going to happen.
Listen, I'm going to parlay when he says gift. Let me just tell the people in Detroit, I just tell everybody, to get this kind of entertainment for free, in Detroit, every year for the last, 30, 40 years?
47 years.
47 years,
yeah.
but we have some changes this year at the festival that you must know, and I want you to hear from Chris himself about the hours, the venue. Would you just take it from there?
Sure. Well, I've been president artistic director for nearly 15 years now, and was born in Detroit, 33 years at Wayne State, and a musician the whole time. I've seen this thing grow up. I knew Bob McCabe, one of the first cat.
Jim Dozo.
And the commitment to keeping it free was always a big deal. And a big part of that is because we talk about the communal element. Detroit is about that, right? So we want to keep it available to everybody and break down as many barriers as we can, so the people who love and live this music every day can be attending these great things in our own backyard that are of international scope and competitive with any premier jazz festival. So this year what we've done is we've tried to take a little different direction. We have unified all three of the outdoor stages onto Hart Plaza. We have some new real estate there. Our engineers have done some amazing things with the staging and the configuration. It's going to be really comfortable. Everything's going to be on one plane, so people can move a lot quicker between stages. They can hear more, but it's the same number of sets, the same number of great artists from all over the world. And the times are very similar. We have a 5:30 doors on Friday opening night, and then 12:30 doors on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So all that is set. One of the big changes is for security and just for everyone's comfort. The festival footprint will be enclosed. It will still be entirely free, top to bottom, but it will be enclosed, and there are these entrance areas you go through and security checks and whatnot. And because of that, we are changing one element, not to bring coolers into the festival.
Oh, remember this here. No coolers, and that way you can help out the vendors, because the vendors are paying to rent space, right. and they want to make it. Could you tell us the residents in arts and some of the headliners who are coming this year?
We all make more than 35,000 decisions a day. Most are small, but some can be life-changing.
When it comes to taking care of yourself, the most important choices can be hard to make. Like having a tough conversation instead of ignoring a buddy's call.
Or being there for support, not assuming things will just get better.
Or fighting through challenges rather than giving up.
And while we all face thousands of choices every day, there's one that can make all the difference. Today, make the decision to be there. For the veterans in your life, for your community, for yourself. Learn more at BeThereForVeterans.com.
Donovan McKinney.
Donovan McKinney.
Donovan McKinney.
I'm Donovan McKinney, state rep, fighting to lift up working people, fight back against corporate politicians.
Donovan McKinney secures $600 million to replace lead pipes in Michigan.
I'm running for Congress because we deserve better. People like Sheree Tanadar are the problem. A multimillionaire who spent millions to buy a seat in Congress.
Sheree Tanadar voted to thank ICE.
Sheree Tanadar taking corporate PAC checks and lying about it.
We deserve better. I'm Donovan McKinney, and I approve this message. Always for the people.
They call it prime time, but it never really feels like our time, does it?
We're paying for 500 channels of nothing. Content that doesn't see us, news that doesn't know us, and bills that keep going up.
It's time to cut the cord and flip the script. Welcome to the Urban Information Network.
This isn't just TV, this is ownership. This is the information they won't give you and the stories the big studios ignored.
We go where the big cameras won't. From neighborhood updates to exclusive indie cinema, UIN is Detroit's digital town square.
Authentic, independent, and 100% ours. All the entertainment you want with the community you love.
The revolution will be streamed. Join the movement at DETIPTV.com. The uncable is here.
Yeah, it's always fun. I mean, for me, it's like flipping through a used record store.
Okay.
You know, you smell the vinyl and the cardboard, and you go, check the Bill Evans with Toots Thielman. Yeah, right. And I get to do that every year. We have an open submission February through June for all artists. Plus, as I travel around the world and play, I'm always listening to cats, reading the magazines, listening to great radio stations and whatnot. And because of that, the mix every year is a real mix of aspiring artists, new artists, legendary artists. So our artist in residence, the great Joe Lovano, who will be playing 3 performances at the festival, different, each one different. You know, he brings, he's a legacy player. I mean, 200 years from now, when you're talking about Lester and Coleman Hawkins and Bert and Train, you're going to be talking about Joe Lovano as one of those landmark cornerstone figures for what he brought innovation-wise as music. And you'll hear that. He's playing with a young cat, Julian Lage, one of the great jazz guitarists, on Friday with the Paramount Band. And his Coltrane 100 set closes the festival on Monday. And he's also doing a very, really esoteric, transparent, beautiful set called Sound Prince with the great Dave Douglas, trumpeter. So he'll be there. Man, one of my favorite human beings, the great Ron Carter, will be with us.
Ron, let me just tell you, Ron is, he follows my Jazz 313.
Yeah.
And to hear him communicate with me and tell me to keep going, that's like the boost of the boost. And Ron is a Ferndale graduate. He went to Cass Tech, 80 plus years old, the most recorded musician in the world. I can remember one of the
Ripley's
best,
Believe It or Not, man. I mean, he's like,
the best concert I ever saw. You told me which camera, this camera or this camera? The best concert I ever saw in my life was Pat Metheny and Ron Carter down at the Chase Stadium.
Duo set.
Oh my God!
Oh,
listen, that was. I mean, Ron Carter. You know, we can talk about the Miles Davis, but we talk about Wayne State. Was Diego Rivera not the artist, but the artist, the trumpet player? Was he one of your students too?
I'm sorry.
Diego Rivera, the trumpet player.
Diego.
I know he's an educator down in Texas.
Not from Wayne State. Diego's a saxophonist.
Yes.
Yeah. No, not from Wayne. He was at Michigan State for a while. Now he's down south.
I thought he was one of your guys.
Yeah. No, we you know, Wayne State, the legacy goes back. I mean, we could talk about Joe Henderson, Yusef Lateef, Donald Byrd, Kenny Burrell, even Curtis Fuller lived with Joe Henderson for a minute, was going to Wayne State, he didn't finish there. But I mean, there's this legacy that started back then at Wayne. And then so many of the cats now, people may know guys like, whether they went to Wayne State or to our summer programs, Nate Wynn and Jeff Trent and Lewis Jones and Alan Denard, and you know, these guys went to all different places, but many of them were my students at one time or another. And it just year after year, generation after generation, out of this city, the new jazz generations keep pouring out and you know, growing up in the tradition, but adding innovation. And the trick is that not only do they love the tradition, once they realize, just as you as a jazz lover realize the import of the Detroit jazz legacy and that they can be part of that, man, that's the thing that fueled me as a 10-year-old saying, wow,
listen, let me tell you something.
These cats.
I am a sports guy. I'm a Joe Montana fan, but I'm so excited sitting next to this guy because what he's doing and what his staff is doing is, for the jazz lovers like myself, I'm speaking for the jazz lovers all over the world. Because
you're a good ambassador, my friend.
Oh, no question about it. Listen, at the Detroit Jazz Festival, at the Gretchen, you had Cohen playing the piano.
Yeah.
And inside that audience, it was like small. People was crazy. But I befriended some people from London, England.
Yeah.
I befriended some people from Buenos Aires, Argentina. So when they say the international, I know it used to be Montreal and Detroit, but tell us some of your international artists. You was talking about you just came from Tokyo.
Yeah.
But just tell the audience, not just Detroit, not just the USA, but some of the international flavor you have here.
Yeah, I mean, every year, you mentioned the Gretchen Civellet Jazz Center on the campus of Wayne State. That was one of the last great gifts that Gretchen left for us, and it was specifically designed for jazz. Acoustically, it's 340 seats because we want every seat to be great acoustically. The stage, the sound system, the piano, everything. So that's our fourth stage, and we do special programming called the Midtown After Hours Specials there each night, is what you're referring to. And we have a host of international, well, you know, Macatini will be playing there on Sunday night, 10:45 to midnight, and he's also then playing with Lovano and the Coltrane 100 group. But throughout the festival, you'll see exchange groups that we have worked to develop collaborations with in Japan. So we have an all-star group from the Takazuki Jazz Festival and the Tottori Jazz Festival. We have some youth coming from Japan that'll integrate with our youth from the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week program.
J.C. Hurd, oh
and
my God.
We have, you know, the African Rhythms Group, which are the alums of the great Dr. Randy Weston's band, bringing that whole world culture vibe to the festival. And you will hear, because of the beauty of jazz and the fact that we, you know, I really seek out developed artists that are moving the art form forward. You will hear cultural influences throughout the festival. In the American artists, the European artists, the Panamanian artists, you'll hear that mix, and that's the beauty, and that's why artists have to live a life where they get out into the world and they embrace other cultures and they explore and they absorb that. They play with musicians from around the world so they can bring that to you when you come to hear them.
So now you're talking about your father. God bless his soul if he's still living.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. Here's how I got into this. During the pandemic, when you think about it, you cannot listen to a jazz album, especially the old beboppers, without a Detroit influence.
That's
and the
right.
reason I say this, I was in Bismarck, North Dakota. That's where I went to school at. And they had Jackie Biar, Doc Cheatham, and I can't think of Judy Collins out of Chicago. But I said I was from Detroit, and the guy said, "Oh, Tommy Flanagan." I just saw Tommy Flanagan a week before at Baker's. This is like, you can look, July, August 1979. And then I got to exploring. I'm talking to Clark Terry, James Moody, and then you look at the Dizzy albums. You look at, you cannot have jazz with the great, we talked about Barry Harris, Yusef Lateef, Curtis Fuller. I mean, what you're doing and what this festival means to Detroit and what this festival means to 40 countries, including Africa, all over America, and what you're doing, you're hearing from the horse's mouth. This is not cut down. This is from Chris. But anyway, with this segment, as we close out, we'll be back for some more information again.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind, and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help. Visit us at treasurer.waynecounty.com, and we'll help you keep your home. We're here to help.
911, what's your emergency? Oh my God! A child been shot!
Signal 13 involving a child. The medicine route.
It is time. Time to put the guns down. We've had enough. My future.
My future.
My future. Our futures are in your hands. Adults, put the guns down. Wanna play? Sleep.
Walk to school.
Visit my friends. I want to feel safe.
It's time. Time to end gun violence.
Our lives depend on it.
Adults, this is not a request.
We demand that you protect us.
Put the guns down. We have hopes. Dreams.
Goals.
Don't let a split second of anger with someone else take away my entire lifetime.
Help us live. Help us thrive.
Help us build a better future.
Movies, documentaries, TV shows, local, national, world news, history, and culture. No network can tell your story better than UIN because we are you. With us, you can become more than just a consumer. You become a keeper of the culture and empowered. Go to uintv.net, click on a channel to support and subscribe today. Do it now.
Again, with the great Chris Collins. In this segment, we'll be talking about some of the talent that he just told me, Dee Dee Bridgewater, Kurt Elling. But we want to just emphasize one more thing before we get into our improvising conversation. We want to talk about the hours. He's going to talk about you can't bring any beverages, and the security thing. That is, you know, we live in a crazy time, and they do that with the electronic festival. So most people, that's not really a big deal because everywhere you go in the world, they're used to it. But anyway, tell them about the hours again, tell them about the cooler, and then we'll get into...
Yeah, well, again, if the footprint is all consolidated on Hart Plaza, make it more accessible and easy for everyone to get around. And opening night is Friday night, September the 4th. We have doors at 5:30. Show starts a little before 7. It's 2 shows, and the first one, Electric Miles, Keon Harold, and alums from the different Miles bands, and then our artist resident Joe Lovano with his Paramount band is going to be great. It's a very special night. The great Shannon Powell from New Orleans is going to be with us, leading our youth again. And then on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, doors are every day at 12:30. Shows start within 30 to 45 minutes of the doors opening, and we go to 11 p.m. except on Monday where we end up closing a slight bit earlier. But 12:30 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and 5:30 doors on Friday. And always remember, you don't want to bring your coolers. We love that tradition, an open park setting, but we have to gate the footprint, if you will. It's still completely free, and there are specific entrances, but we don't want people to be bringing in large containers like that because, you know, the world we live in, man, you got to be cool.
But anyway, we get back to the music.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Give us the dates again. The people need to put this on your calendar because if you're Jewish, my Hanukkah friends. If you're Muslim, my Ramadan friends. If you're Christian, this is the jazz holiday of the year
for everybody.
In Detroit, Michigan. So give them the dates. People need the dates.
Sure. Well,
put it on your calendar.
47 years. It's been Friday through Monday, a Labor Day weekend. This year it's September 4th through the 7th. And it's interesting to note, though, the Detroit Jazz Fest Foundation, the group that produces it every year, we're a year-round organization. So we have events every couple of weeks. So we do live, people can attend as a live audience member for free for the tapings of our shows, Jazz from the Cellar. That's at the Gretchen Steve Allais Jazz Center on the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month. It runs October through July. And the next one will be on July 13th, and that's 5:30. So, and then there's our educational programs throughout the Detroit Public Schools, and our summer program, which is coming up at the end of July. It's called the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week at Wayne. The family of the great J.C. Hurd, talk about drummer traditions, man, has kept it alive. And here's the thing about it. It's a summer program for aspiring musicians under 18. They can be from anywhere. We have people from all over the country who join. There is no admission fee. You could pay $3,000 or more to have your son or daughter go to a program.
Blue Lake.
Like
My
this,
daughter used to go to Blue Lake.
Well, so you know Blue Lake.
That costs money.
And so what we wanted to do is emulate what we do at the festival, break down the barriers, but you do have to audition because it's all about talent. And the beauty of that is nobody can pay, and nobody has to pay. So nobody's paying to be there. They're there on their talent. So the cat from the east side and then the cat from San Francisco, they're sitting right next to each other, and they're there for the same reason. There's nothing. So you see this incredibly beautiful, diverse, integrated organization of students. And after 2 decades of doing this now, we've seen artists go on to make projects and recordings with people they met at the JC Hurd Jazz Week that they may have never met.
That's what CAMP's about.
And that's what it's about.
So as a former educator, it's 2 things. You talked about year-long, Shani mentioned that. But could you give the public your website so they can plug in with you, because everybody now on the phones?
2 things. The Detroit Jazz Fest, F-E-S-T, DetroitJazzFest.org, O-R-G is the website. But you can easily, for free, sign up to be on our mailing list. You get texts and mailings about everything that's happening, special deals at our online vintage store where you can buy vintage gear and posters, beautiful thing. But you can get all that information before anyone else does, and before it goes to press. So it's really a great thing to get involved in. You just sign up, register with your email or whatnot, and you go from there. It's a really good way to know what's going on. But you can also watch the press, because we do get some really nice coverage. And in fact, we mentioned the programming at the festival. Things like every year, All-Stars, a group from the JC Hurd Jazz Week, perform the best of that year, perform at the festival under that moniker, so you can hear them. They often perform in collaboration with some of our international students. And then you mentioned some really interesting collaborations. I mean, Kurt Elling and the Yellow Jackets coming together, man.
Kurt is Chicago. But what he has done, Mark Murphy would be happy.
Oh, yeah.
What he has done, Ben Sindrin would be happy. What he has done, he has taken American classics, and with the Yellow Jacks, that's the old 1980 Pat Metheny type thing. And then you said Kurt Elling, Dee Dee Bridgewater. Is Bob James coming too?
Bob James and his quartet doing a jazz set. So he's going to do his stuff, but he's bringing some of the young guys he works with. He started like playing avant-garde piano, man, when he was in college.
Yeah, with Creed Taylor at University of Michigan.
There's a couple of records out. Like,
Bob James, 1, 2, 3,
That's right.
4. Then he did Touchdown and got on TV. That's how they got all the money.
Right.
But the classic Bob James is Bob James 4 with Winchester Lady.
That's right. The whole world heard that, man.
Yeah, Harvey Mason. Yeah. It was, we had some cats on that thing.
He was defining a whole style at that point. But he's bringing to Detroit, he wanted to bring his knowledge and love of this music. So the quartet's going to be doing straight ahead stuff. Dee Dee's with a great Bill Charlap in duo.
Wow, Bill.
And man, the thing with Kurt, I mean, he's writing lyrics to like Joe Zawinul music.
That's everybody's music. Yes. Wayne Shorter's music.
But with what he's going to do at the festival with the Yellow Jackets, harkens into that. So it's really creative, original stuff. I love this guy to death. And then Take 6. Who doesn't love Take 6? Talk about an uplifting thing.
Spread love. I saw them in Tokyo. I met his daughter. His daughter is a big musician in Tokyo.
Oh, dig.
When you talk to him, one of the guys.
They're huge in Asia.
Yeah. But let's get back to Bob James.
Yeah.
And Bob James, he really inspired Zajic. He really inspired David Sanborn, and they got like a couple Grammys on that Touchdown or Taxi. They did Taxi. But Bob James, I grew up. That was like cool to be cool back in the day, and to bring a legend who went to the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
I can remember going to see him at the Mendelssohn Center for $350. I did my undergrad at Eastern Michigan University. And
well, you won't have to pay $350 at the Detroit Jazz Fest. You won't have to pay nothing.
I know that. And guess what? I say, this is my Christmas. This is my Super Bowl.
That same day, if you can imagine, you can see Robbie Coltrane Quartet, because we had to have Robbie. I mean, it's his dad's,
let's talk about Detroit. Hold on. Let's talk about Alice is from.
Alice from it. We did a big orchestral tribute to Alice with her original harp.
Cass Tech or Mumford? They only go to 1 or 2 schools.
I think it was Cass.
Okay.
I can't remember for sure.
Cass Tech kind of got everybody. I wonder who was the music teacher. I know you got to know because you're at Wayne State. How did you? I mean, we're all over the place.
Yeah, that's right.
But here's the deal.
Jazz all over the place, man.
Oh, jazz. That's
everywhere.
I was saying this right here. Only lions and wolves eat live animals. They don't eat carcass. Jazz is, you talk about why is jazz, this is a strong statement, the most passionate music in the world. You know, some people can debate that, but I think, because I'm kind of jazz-centric, but why do you think jazz resonate in Portugal and Lisbon? You can go to any club. Yeah. I was in Frankfurt. It's called the Jazz Cellar.
Yeah.
It's an old building that was bombed from like 1600.
I know the joint, actually.
And they in the basement they playing jazz. Why do you think jazz is just taking over all over the world?
Well, first of all, I feel like I'm talking to a really creative, energetic drummer who's in 4, and all of a sudden he goes switch into 12, and then all of a sudden we're in 5. You just keep it moving, so I'm trying to keep up with you, man.
No, I'm keeping up with you. No. Well, guess what, though? It's like basketball. You giving me a point guard.
All I can do is pass you the ball.
So anyway, don't ask that question.
No, I mean, the answer really is, I mean, jazz, you know, people will debate this, but you know, one of the reasons we teach jazz at Wayne State, and we teach it the way we do, which is fundamentals and building on it. Look, jazz is an incredible challenge in music because it demands a thorough knowledge of harmony, melody, and rhythm. It demands the ability to put that together in a compositional or orchestration or arrangement format where you're writing it down. But it also, you have to be able to manipulate those elements in real time within an ensemble and communicate within a repertoire, within a language and a history that goes back. You have to know all those pieces and then bring it to bear in the moment. And you know what it's like, man, because we're in the moment right now. Everybody out there, next time you brush your teeth, check out your brain. Are you in the moment? Or you think about 25 things you got to do? Because as a jazz musician, when you get up on stage and jazz patrons, you go to listen, you sort of let that wash away. You have to be in the moment to be true to what the music is about, because you can't be thinking about what you practiced or prepared. You have to be thinking about what's happening with you and your ensemble, the venue, the people, and the whole experience around you to create something that is a little nugget in time that will be there, and it's poof.
And let me tell you something. I can recall, I think he was Michael Carruthers or Melvin Conway. One of my band directors gave me a lesson about the mathematical concepts.
Yeah.
I found out everybody who was in the band, especially symphony or jazz band, were my calculus, my physics, my high-end math. So tell us that educational correlation, and we're going to get back to jazz, but the jazz and the music, why is music and math so instrumental in academic high achievement?
Well, you know, there's a part of the brain that's active in the pursuit of mathematics that is the same part of the brain active in the craft of music and art. But then there's the other side of the brain, which is the creative side. And this is why, you know, people will debate this as well, but, you know, science, math, these kind of things are fundamentally important to everyone. But the arts are the things that stimulate both creativity and logistic, logical, mathematical, formulaic thinking in the brain. Those two halves come together. And in jazz, they have to come together not only over time, but as I said, in the moment right now. Something's going to happen, right? A chord is going by, a band's playing certain parts of that chord, the musicians have to react to it, the rhythm, you have to react to it, and you have to understand all these things viscerally. So the mathematics side of your brain is firing, and the creative side is firing, and you're communicative, your ears and your heart are wide open to everything that's going on. Look, there's nothing else beyond true creative arts that can instill that. So you asked about why it's important around the world, is because there's so much going on in this music, and yet it's framed with the concept of freedom built on discipline, built on culture, built on communication. What human being in the world doesn't want to have an understanding or an experience of all those beautiful things put together?
Okay, so here's where we at. One quick question. The great Frank Gehry, the Balboa artist, for his relaxation, he listened to jazz and he was inspired, but he wanted to be a jazz musician, but he was an architect. So as we talk about the Detroit Jazz Festival, and we talk about, I guess in the next segment, we talk about getting the teachers and the students, because our age are fading out. how can we get more kids to come and participate? And I know you have the high schools and the J.C. Hurd, but what are we doing at Wayne State? Because I have my master's from Wayne State, and I want to see this. And any way we can help, or I can get some of my friends to try to finance, because I know everything costs money. But again, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back with some more of this great interview with the great Chris Collins. And, you know, stay with us, and I am so happy, and I hope you're happy, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And please share this with your relatives, share this with your friend, get this message out about the hours, the one venue, the security, but we're going to have a great, great time. You know, Dee Dee Bridgewater, the Yellow Jackets, my man Kurt Ellie, and one of my favorites, Bob James. This is Christmas to me. I always just get a hotel and just stay down in the Renaissance Center and have to be bothered with it. But anyway, we're on a break, and we'll see you at the next segment.
Donovan McKinney.
Donovan McKinney.
Donovan McKinney. I'm Donovan McKinney, state rep, fighting to lift up working people, fight back against corporate politicians.
Donovan McKinney secures $600 million to replace lead pipes in Michigan.
I'm running for Congress because we deserve better. People like Cherie Tanadar are the problem. A multi-millionaire who spent millions to buy a seat in Congress.
Cherie Tanadar voted to thank ICE.
Cherie Tanadar taking corporate PAC checks and lying about it.
We deserve better. I'm Donovan McKinney, and I approve this message. Always for the people.
They call it prime time, but it never really feels like our time, does it?
We're paying for 500 channels of nothing. Content that doesn't see us, news that doesn't know us, and bills that keep going up.
It's time to cut the cord and flip the script. Welcome to the Urban Information Network.
This isn't just TV, this is ownership. This is the information they won't give you and the stories the big studios ignored.
We go where the big cameras won't. From neighborhood updates to exclusive indie cinema, UIN is Detroit's digital town square.
Authentic, independent, and 100% ours. All the entertainment you want with the community you love.
The revolution will be streamed. Join the movement at DETIPTV.com. The uncable is here.
Clean up on aisle 5. Sounds like my life right now. Just one big mess.
What's going on?
It's my property taxes.
What?
I am behind, and I am so worried that I'm going to lose my house. I can pay some of it, but I can't pay it all at once.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Eric Sabri, the Wayne County Treasurer. The last thing I want is for anyone to lose their property to tax foreclosure. We have assistance programs to help. Visit us at treasurer.waynecounty.com, and we'll help you keep your home. We're here to help.
Again, we're back here with the Urban Information Network with the great Chris Collins. This is our last segment, but the one question before just to bring it back, how do the local high school band directors, whether they're in St. Clair, whether they're in Monroe, connect with Wayne State University for the summer program, whether it's J.C. Hurd or some things you're doing?
That's right. Well, they can always go to DetroitJazzFest.org or music.wayne.edu. There's information about the J.C. Hurd Jazz Week program there, where you can audition, when it takes place, what the different concerts and jam sessions are. But there's also, I have to say, there's incredible teachers throughout our entire city of Detroit, in Detroit Public Schools Community District, and there's some legacy cats like Willie McAllister, who was at Renaissance. He built that, you know, globally recognized jazz program, and then continued as a fine arts director. And now we have great people throughout the city keeping the music alive, because there are so many young people that have grown up with this music, listening to it in mom and dad's, grandma and grandpa's places, hearing gospel music in church, the influence throughout Detroit music. It's part of who they are. So we even have a youth jazz vocal competition for singers under 18 that takes place in early August. That the Dirty Dog is the semifinals.
Okay.
And then that's followed by the winner performs at the Jazz Festival. We also have an international collegiate combo competition that's open to the whole country, and we have the finals for that also at the Dirty Dog on August it's not August the 1st, or yes, August the 1st is the final band plays at the Dirty Dog, and then also at the Jazz Festival. So we have all these programs, J.C. Hurd Jazz Week, all these things that are infusing and giving opportunity to young people throughout the year, and then all the programs at Wayne State University that allow them to experience some of the private teaching from the professors, a taste of what they will experience in the music program right here in Detroit. And I'm here to tell you, it's produced some of the finest musicians in the world, but a lot of that is because of the place and the beautiful legacy that we're in.
And I think he went to Wayne State. Ian Frutnickel, he's from West Bloomfield. He went to school with my daughter. And I know Miss Kathleen Tenney out of West Bloomfield. Yeah. She emphasized a whole lot of music type of things. But anyway, and everything costs money. You know, when you go buy a dozen of eggs, it costs money. When you order from Amazon. So right now, this segment is talking about how could one, whether it's corporation or a private citizen, support with money, economics, because this thing costs money, salaries cost money, electric. So tell the people, how can they support the Detroit Jazz Festival?
Yeah, well, first of all, creative arts in general, creative arts since the beginning of time, require philanthropy to survive. Otherwise, commercial forces take over, reshape the music. We all heard it happen, right? And it becomes this other thing that's about making money. For true creative artists to pursue their heart and their vision, it takes philanthropy. Now, at the Detroit Jazz Festival, we're very fortunate because we have some incredible corporate sponsors for many years.
Corporate sponsors?
We have Carhartt and Absolpure and J.P. Morgan Chase. We have Mack Avenue Records. We have a number of special donors who start endowments at the Detroit Jazz Fest to fund things like Miss Carolyn Wanzo and her friends started one that funds the Next Gen program, which is about supporting upcoming aspiring artists. And then we also have a program which we have going on now. It's called Keep It Free campaign, which we started last year. And this is very important for people to understand because if you go to the Detroit Jazz Festival and then you go over to Newport or Monterey or New Orleans, you'll see that the level of artistry and the production quality and your experience is on par with any premier festival in the world. In fact, the top premier festivals. The difference is, for 47 years, we've kept it for no admission charge, and that's not because musicians are working for free, or the hundreds and hundreds of stagehand workers are working for free. No, they're all getting paid because we want to infuse the art.
So you pay scale, right? You say
we pay above scale. We pay competitive. You don't get Ron Carter to show up for scale, my friend.
Okay.
So, but God bless him. But the point being, people have to understand that we have to come up with $4.5 to $5 million every single year to do our year-round and to keep it free. So when we're asking people, when you can always come for free, but when you can, get to a point in your life where you can put $1, $5, $20, or make a larger donation at DetroitJazzFest.org or at the festival itself, here's what you're doing. You're keeping it free because it would be no problem to keep this going in perpetuity. I've had lawyers tell me, man, just charge $20 at the gate. You're still cheaper than any jazz festival on the planet, and you're competitive. And I said, yeah, but $20. So if somebody's got 2 kids, a family of 4, well, so now you got $80 a day. They can't afford that. So a lot of people in our own city can't come to the big jazz festival in their backyard. So we're committed to keeping it free and accessible to everybody. But I'm here to tell you, when you make that small donation when you can, you are keeping it free for everyone, which is a gift that will impact your children and their children. And that's what it's really about, and that's where the money really goes. Our auditors told us 85 cents of every dollar donated goes directly to programming. One of my board members said, well, is that good? And the auditor said, that's unheard of in the nonprofit. Yeah, so we're very careful with money. Nobody's making a big overhead on this because we want it to be about jazz and keeping it free. And we need everyone's help to do it when you can. There's nobody paying the bill. There's no government element paying the bill. We have to raise the money. And thank God for our sponsors and big donors because they help get us there. But then each and every one of you, when you can, throw a few bucks in the till at DetroitJazzFest.org with the Keep It Free campaign, or something larger if you can, knowing that you're making a difference for every person in the world, which, by the way, it's about 325,000 people come, about a third of that from outside the state or the country, and over 1.5 million see it on our live stream, which we've been doing for free for 10 years, about 42 countries around the world. You're part of a very special legacy and keeping it alive.
So, it gets back to this right here. We're talking about this network, but people say price is what you pay, value is what you get. So if you value what we're doing, what Chris is doing, what his staff is doing, and I can speak for myself. I've been to the Baltic Sea Festival, Montreux, go to all of them. You can't get this nowhere for free. And see, people most of the time don't understand we're spoiled people. So let me ask you, what does this station mean for the Jazz Festival, being that we are in all the states, we're in Africa, last year 400,000 people. What does this station mean, Urban Information Network?
And none of it matters if nobody knows about it, and that's where we come to our media partners, and we have so many here in the city of Detroit committed to bringing this to the world, and as you know, we do exactly that. Even the broadcast streams are kept free. Last year we were at a little over 1.5 million viewers in 40 countries, 30,000 viewable hours. Very special stuff, and we get it out on the airwaves with our corporate sponsors. And DET IPTV, something new this year. Give it up for DET IPTV and all of our media partners.
Of Detroit, what does this mean to the Jazz
Well,
Festival?
I mean, the name, UIN, Urban Information Network. The whole world needs to know about that information I'm here to tell you, because a lot of people don't live in urban centers. And they need to understand it better because they see stuff on the air that plays, you know, crazy stuff. Man, we have incredible youth, incredible programs. One of the reasons we're spoiled in Detroit is because we have hardworking folks keeping things like UIN alive, like the Detroit Jazz Festival live, Motown Records, our gospel churches, our youth, our great school programs. We're spoiled here. We look in our own backyard and think everybody's got this. They don't, man.
Listen, I can remember
unique in all the world.
the National Endowments of the Arts, which they are cutting, or have cut, probably to the bones. That's how they was bringing Clark Terry and James Moody and those birds, those guys up there, the ink spots. So as we get back to the donation, you know, and one more time, tell the people about how to donate. Last thing as we wrap this up, tell them about the cooler situation, the hours, and the security, if you can tell our audience that one more time.
You got it. Real quickly, I'll just say, just like Jazz Festival, UIN, everyone has to know there's just a bunch of hard-working people that love disseminating this, and they're working with people all around the world, and all these entities need the support of the public as much as you can, because they don't happen alone, and usually people are working, you know, their fingers to the bone to make sure it happens for all of us to understand this information. So it's for all of us. But, you know, last thoughts, I guess, you know, DetroitJazzFest.org is the easiest place to get information. The whole lineup is there, how you can donate, because there's many ways. You can give $20 a month all year to give a larger number. You can start an endowment at the Detroit Jazz Festival and define how that money is going to be used. As I mentioned, our Next Gen program, it gets used for aspiring artists. So there's a million ways you can do it. It's all at DetroitJazzFest.org. You can also register to be on our mailing list and get all the information up front and easy. At the Detroit Jazz Festival, don't forget it, this year, the festival itself is September 4th through September 7th, Friday through Monday, Labor Day weekend. We have doors at 5:30 on opening night, Friday, September 4th. And then on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, doors open at 12:30. Shows begin shortly after that. So, and the other key to it is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have our Midtown after-hour special, the hippest place to be in town. Starts at 10:45, doors are at 9:45 at the Gretchen C. Bolle Jazz Center, and it goes till midnight. And it's serious cats, and everyone's hanging out, and it's like the wrap-up of the day. In addition, if you want even more, to hear some more youth, in the mornings, starting, I believe doors are about 11:30 a.m. at the Gretchen C. Bolle Jazz Center, which is on the corner of Cass and Hancock. We have each day, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we have student showcases of the top school bands from throughout our state and throughout our city. 5 of them play on Saturday, 5 of them play on Sunday, and our Detroit Public Schools showcase on Monday. And that's all at the Gretchen C. Bolle Jazz Center, still free. So you can come down and start your day at about 10:30, have a little coffee, go hear some youth, and come down to Footprint eat some elephant ears, have a little wine, and hear the best jazz in the world for nothing, my friend, free.
Okay, listen to this here. Now, what about volunteers? Like last year, I volunteered at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. So a couple years ago, how would one volunteer if, you know, and their pockets is tight? What can they do to help this so it can remain free?
We have a whole volunteer program. If you go to DetroitJazzFest.org, there's a volunteer section, and we welcome volunteers of any talent level. We have people that handle the artists, who do various parts of the transportation on site, work with the hotels. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities. There are also seasonal paid opportunities for people with different skills that we want to integrate. And I should say the Detroit Jazz Festival team, I mean, we're here because of Sean Wilson, head of Cadence. He's a great example. Sharon and Erica Banks from Bankable Marketing, they work with us. Paxahau is our production company. You know, we have some incredibly talented, citywide recognized experts working as a team with the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation year-round. So what you see and what you hear and what you experience is the result of some of the greatest minds in the city coming together. And every one of them would sit down and talk with you for 5 hours because they're all jazz lovers. It's why they do it, man.
No question.
And the volunteers, along with the team that work above and beyond any paycheck, is why it's so special, and it speaks of who we are in this city, which is what we want the whole world to know, right?
I tell you what, Chris, the station Urban Information Network is elated that you're here. I'm elated to formally have met you. We've been in a lot of different venues together. I'm trying to think of the drummer last year who was with the corn guy at the Gretchen Center. He was incredible, but my mind is going. But anyway, though, on the behalf of Urban Information Network and our staff here, may you come and enjoy the Detroit Jazz Festival. And again, thank you for letting us interview you and getting our message out.
The first of many here on UIN, and everybody check out UIN and the coverage, the global coverage you guys are giving to this important information. Check it out because it needs your support, needs your ears, man.
Thank you very much.
My brother.
I love you.
Thank you.
God.